I'm going to try to explain what vocoding is, and then I'll go over the parameters of the vocoder. So vocoding involves a modulator and a carrier. The carrier, in this case, is summed to mono and then passed through a series of bandpass filters. This vocoder happens to be a 13-band vocoder, so there's 13 bandpass filters. The modulator controls the volume of those bandpass filters. You can think of it as like the modulator's spectrum is broken up into 13 bins, and then there are envelope followers that are reading the volume of the modulator in that area, that band. And then, you know, when the volume goes up, it turns up the same respective band in the carrier. So we're going to listen to the vocoder now. Let me go ahead and minimize this. Before I show you vocoding itself, let me show you the carrier. It's just a synth. So I have my voice routed to the to be the modulator via the effects control 1. And when I turn on the vocoder, let me actually go ahead and do that now. We won't hear the carrier, because the carrier, no part of its spectrum is being turned up. All of the bandpass filters are down, since I'm not since I'm not yet sending my voice through as the modulator. So let me go ahead and stop sending my voice through the Kronos left and right and just feed it into the effects control 1. And then when I play the synth, you'll hear the vocoder, the vocoding effect. So my voice is going to drop out right now, and you won't be able to hear me other than through the left. So now you hear vocoding. I actually increase the modulator high mix. By increasing the modulator high mix, it might kind of increase the clarity of the vocoder, but I'll go into that detail a bit later. I'll go ahead and restore my voice now. So my voice is still going through the vocoder as well as going to the output, so it's a bit more clear. Let me go ahead and just stop the synth from playing back, so we're only listening to my voice. I actually set this up in such a way where we can hear all of the, or we can see all of the bands of the vocoder if we try. This is going to be the most boring part of this video, by the way, but it's just to show you kind of like what's happening when it comes to vocoding. So I have this test generator, and then I have that slowly climbing in frequency. And then as it climbs, you'll see, I'm going to switch the vocoder. Actually, I'm not going to use the, I'm going to switch the carrier to just noise. In fact, let me just pop up the diagram real fast. You can see that the vocoder has its own noise generator, which can be used as the carrier. Minimize that. So I'm going to go to the effect, and I guess I could put this back. I'm going to go to the effect and turn up noise. Yep, and since the vocoder's still on, you can hear that I'm still routed with the vocoder. But yeah, I'll be quiet, I'll turn up noise, and then I'll feed this sine wave that's climbing in frequency, and then we'll look at the spectrum so you can kind of see like the different bands of the vocoder. I'll also try to point out the bands with the mouse, though I won't be able to verbally talk because it'll mess up the spectrum analyzer, but yeah. There it is. Okay. So I try to point out all 13 bands, and I should have also mentioned in the beginning that the highest and lowest band are shelving, with they're kind of like shelving with a pretty steep cutoff. And then what else did I need to? Okay, yeah. So let me explain the this parameter right here, the Foreman Shift. So what the Foreman Shift does is the bandpass filters that are reading the volume of the modulator don't change, but the bandpass filters, the frequencies of the bandpass filters that are affecting the carrier do change. So, for example, let me send a frequency through to the vocoder. So my voice will vocode right now. But let me send a frequency through that's around 1,000 hertz. Okay, so we have a frequency that's about 1,000 hertz, a little bit above that, but it's in the band that is centered around that area. If I change the Foreman Shift, our modulator will still be sounding at 1,000 hertz, but the band that it's controlling will be shifted downwards. In fact, all of the bands are shifted downwards, and then yeah, I guess I could show you just what that sounds like. Yeah. So again, our carrier is now responding to a different. Well, it's not responding to a different. It's actually the same bandpass filter. Again, it's just shifted. All of the bandpass filters are shifted. Instead of being kind of, well, I guess you could say they're still spread evenly, but again, they're just kind of pushed left or right depending on the Foreman Shift. I think I should probably stop here and then explain the rest of the parameters in another video using a different example.